Mhm.
And we are live.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to 30 Minutes of Wisdom. We had some tech difficulties, but we're here and I can celebrate that. We're going to talk about something really, really cool, power of setting intentions. And I'm here with Seneca, Lincoln, and Paola. Thank you for joining us. And so let's get right into it since it's already 2:13. I want to know, Paola, for those of us who are like, okay, goal setting, I know, resolutions, I know. What is this intention setting and why is it so important?
Hmm. Well, I would like to start with a quote from my teacher, Michael Bernard Beckwith. He says, it's kind of funny. He says, we live in a world with a lot of intentional deficit disorder. We said that people have ADD, but more dangerous is to have IDD, intentional deficit disorder. And what that means is that we live life without intention. We live lives filled with expectations. And, with the word expectations, sometimes we think, well, shouldn't I be expecting good things from the world? Or shouldn't I be expecting good things from life? And the answer is yes, and. Yes, and let's be aware that sometimes we're expecting from something outside of us to give us what we need. And so when we do that, sometimes things happen the way we want them to happen, but sometimes they don't. And when they don't, we get very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
And so we say that expectations are premeditated disappointments. We are expecting for someone, for the government, for our spouses, for the world to give us what we need so that we can feel good. And that permeates in everything in life. And then relationships become very transactional. I'm going to give you this, but you better give me back. Otherwise, I'm going to withdraw from you what I got. So that's in the relationship part of it. But living a life of intention allows us to keep our power. Expectation says, what can I get from the world? And I am giving my power away. And again, sometimes things happen, but sometimes things don't. And so then we go into that blame game. It's their fault. They shouldn't have done that. Life is not good for me. Things are happening to me, and we can get victimized. But the power of intention says that you get to keep your power. You get to be the creator of your life. You get to say, what is it that you're bringing? This is another thing that my teacher says, because the world has nothing for you. You came here to bring to the world your brilliance. So the world has nothing for us. We have everything to give to the world. But the switch, and it's a very teeny distinction. It's so little, but it's so powerful. It's about not what can I get, and instead is what can I bring? What can I bring to my conversations? What can I bring to my life? What is that energy that I'm projecting from the inside out? And what happens is that intention becomes like a guiding force. And doesn't matter the circumstances, you know what's your intention. Keep your gaze into your intention, and then synchronicities starts happening. And it's just such a beautiful way of living, shifting our expectations into intentions.
Thank you so much for that. I love this. What can I give to the world? Because the world has nothing for us. Or maybe it's, I already have everything I need. It's already been given. Yeah, what a powerful shift. Lincoln, I know you had some interesting ways of understanding how intentions function and work. Can you also share with us?
Absolutely. I like to frame the experience of life from the perspective of life is happening through you. It's not happening to you. So what we do when we establish a clear intention within our own individual life experience is life itself, our life experience molds and shapes itself around that intention. And what we find is that we're then led across what Neville Goddard so brilliantly stated was a bridge of incident, where we are taken on this journey where we become not just the person who can accomplish this intention that we've set for ourselves, who can achieve this intention that we set for ourselves, who can fulfill it, but a much better person overall. So our character will be tested. A lot of our habits that are unhealthy, those will be tested, and we'll be challenged to choose between whether or not we're going to develop healthier habits or try to still achieve what we want out of life without changing. You know, and it's difficult to say which one is the harder path because they're equally as challenging. So that's also the thing that's playing a factor in this, because you can perceive that, okay, this is still challenging, and only because of any of these outside factors, not accepting that it's me within that's making this more challenging, because I'm not giving up these toxic habits that I have, these unhealthy habits that I have. So that's playing a role. So ultimately you have to decide whether or not it's more valuable for you to achieve the things that you want out of life while still becoming a better person, or if you're saying that I still want to be this person that I am, I don't want to change, I don't want to grow, I don't want to develop, and I'm going to get this by any means necessary through these same habits and patterns that I have in place.
So it seems like what you're saying, Lincoln, is like, I would say it is, life is like a mirror of you, right? It only reflects back to you what you already are, and it's kind of honing that. But you said something about, maybe not here in this conversation, but something that you said previously about beliefs, how the universe affirms and confirms through the intentions our beliefs. Can you just like help us understand that? That was fascinating for me.
Yes. Well, life meets us at our expectations. Our expectations become self-fulfilling prophecies. Right? Because if you are an extension of the universe and the universe is essentially operating through you, what happens is what you believe and the strength of that belief is essentially the secret sauce to you being able to materialize and manifest and then also go on to achieve and fulfill whatever your intentions are. So the point of that is the universe is operating through you. You are an extension of the universe. Your belief, the strength of those beliefs is the secret sauce that enables you to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. And I also just want to touch really quickly on the mirror concept, because a lot of people, what they don't understand about the mirror is that it not only shows you the exact reflection of you, but the inverse. So we have the duality. We have balance always being created within the universe. There's the light and there's the dark. So people may say, oh, I'm this great, wonderful person, so I can only attract people who match that energy. That's incorrect. That's incorrect. You're going to attract people at the opposite end of the spectrum as well. And the challenge is for you to still maintain who you are and still grow, because you have to continuously grow, and they're being challenged to grow as well by coming into contact with you. So everyone's working in unison with one another, but we have to understand that you're going to also attract the inverse of your reflection.
I love that idea. Thank you so much. Seneca, can you also speak on what is this most important thing in intention setting? And how is it a little different than like goal setting or resolutions?
Yeah, wonderful question. Thank you. So intention setting, it really invites us to get super clarity on our deepest values and what we really want to experience in our lives, and really being able to connect from that perspective. So when we start out, we want to really consciously contemplate, what are my values? And there's so many wonderful resources online all over the place that can really help us to do that. And when we do it, we really up-level where we're operating from. So our default in operating, kind of like some of the things that Lincoln mentioned, like we might be operating from a lower default that might be based in like old patterning or fear, that sort of thing. It's very common. It's very normal for that to happen. And instead, when we're contemplating our values and setting intentions from there, we can actually reach into the highest vision of what we want for our lives. So it's like we want to come at intention setting from the lens of, what do I want to experience in my life? What do I want to contribute to the world and to those around me? What do I want to create from that place? So for example, if we have a value of really deep connection, of meaningful service, of, maybe it's ongoing education and growth. Maybe it's our greatest vitality. Maybe it's prosperity, the prosperity that gives us freedom to be able to be very generous in our lives with the people that we love. So we're making this whole shift through intention setting. So it's not really what do I think I should do that other people have kind of told me what I should do with my life, but it's like, where do I feel through my body what I want my life to mean? So it's a very different kind of nuance. So as we do this, we can really connect with these authentic truths in the area of our intention and just deep levels of satisfaction, deep levels of fulfillment and contribution in life. So we can really use intention to direct how we live our lives. It's like maybe we want to, make 6 figures next year. And it's like, yeah, we all want more money, right? But why do we want it? When I want it because I want more freedom, because I want to be able to be more generous with the people I love. When I want it, when the world opens back up again, and I want to be able to experience the richness of other cultures and other people and the vast and beauty that this world has to offer. And I need prosperity to be able to do that. When I connect with that why, that's where I get into intention as having so much more richness than a goal. So I can create an actual life that I specifically came here to live, that you specifically came here to live. It's stepping into our authentic greatness. So much beauty in it.
I love that. I love that so much. It reminds me of like the kind of conversations I have with my clients when they're like, let's use that example. I want to make 6 figures. If only I made 6 figures, right? And they have this, my resolution is to lose 20 pounds or whatever it is. It's like a goal. It's an achievement. It's a number. And then we do this game where it's like, and then what? And then you make 6 figures, and then what? Oh, I'll buy the house, or like, I'll have no more debt. And then what? And then what? And then what? And what happens is they start to go, and then, I've had more time to give to my, and then they start to get into a state, and they go, if I have this, it ultimately leads to an emotional state or a place in life where I could feel things like freedom. Like I want to get, I like 6-figure incomes because it helps me feel what's the adjective of that? Prosperous. Prosperous enough to me to express generosity to those I love. It's such a different place of operation than I want 6 figures.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the beauty of it, because it's like when I connect with the values, I don't have to wait. Wait. It might take me years to get there. Like I'm going to start feeling prosperous now. Yes. I'm going to start living with intention now, with freedom, with generosity. There's always some space to start living those intentions in this very moment, no matter what we've encountered. And we've encountered so much, all of us have. That's the beauty of intention setting. I love what you just said, Lynn.
Neville Goddard talks a lot about that in terms of, he starts off with the phrase, with the statement, the hope deferred makes the heart weary, something along that extent.
Yes.
And he says, he follows that up with saying, appropriate your desires. Don't continue to mentally put them off. You have to start to envision yourself as that person. Because what happens is once you do that, you start to become the embodiment of that. And then you can manifest it. If you're not the embodiment of what it is that you want, you won't be able to attract it. Like attracts like, right? We've all heard that. You have to become the embodiment of it. And it starts by how what you feed yourself mentally. What you feed yourself mentally starts to take on this energy where you're calibrating an energy frequency that makes you attractive to those things. Your intuition is now calibrated to be able to sense and feel when you're in the vicinity of opportunities. You'll see things and they'll sort of appeal to you in a way that you can't quite explain, but it's happening because you've calibrated your intuition to be able to sense when something is in alignment with what it is that you want to accomplish. Paola was talking about alignment in our pre-discussion before.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to hear more from Paola is, Paola, when you said expectation is a premeditated disappointment, and just kind of linking that with hope deferred makes the heart sick, right? Anything deferred, like, just pushes our happiness. When I get this, I will be happy. When I get this, I will be generous. Just kind of pushes that timeline of when, into this like weird, vague future. And it reminds me something personal that I did. I was actually trying to set my resolutions December of 2020. And I just thought, more money would be great. Yeah. I mean, who's not to say more money would always be great. But if I had that, what would I be doing? I would be spending more time with my kids. And if I had more time of day, what would I be doing? I would be doing all the stuff that doesn't, profit or doesn't achieve. Like, I would read a book just for fun. Like, I would dance, not to burn calories, but I would just dance, I would listen to music and create it and do all that stuff. And I just thought, why do I need to go through that loop? Why can't I just dance now? Like, I have everything I need. Like, I have 2 legs. And so I signed up for a dance class and we made this video just for fun. And I felt like I was in high school again, like trying to be a girl band or like trying to, but I just thought, yes, my discipline, and what's becoming clearer for me in this discussion is intention is more about who we are now, more than like this future of what we want to become, and tapping into the things that we are now and just living into this. It's already done. It's already finished. So, Paola, if you can say a little bit more about that, because I think it's so true. This whole thing about expectations and IDD disorder, I so appreciate that coming from a mental health perspective.
Right. Yeah, our attention is not too much in the outside and the money and the achievement and the hustle. And also if we bring it into relationships, because I know that's an area where we have a lot of opportunity for growth. We bring those expectations, and I'm repeating myself again a little bit, but it's I'm expecting the other to do what I need right now, and if they fail me, then I get very disappointed. Or if the universe or God or whatever you call it, or my company, my boss doesn't give me what I'm expecting, then I get all angry and so again we go into that victim mode. But I love when Seneca talked about values. I also call them qualities. And when we tap into those values and those qualities, that they will never expire. They're part of the essence of who you are. And you go, what's my intention? What's my intention for today? I love to set intentions, general intentions for life. And you can set intentions every day, especially or every day, but it's also very good to set them when you're struggling with something. Let's say you're struggling with someone in your life, or you feel not very abundant, you feel in lack, that you're not having enough. So you can ask yourself, what's my intention? Okay, I don't want to sit here just waiting for something to happen. I can do something myself. I don't like the word do. I'm going to be something myself. What's my intention? What can I bring here? What's the energy that I want to put out there in the universe? So right there, you're recovering your power again. You're taking it back. And then you ask, well, what's important for me? What are those qualities or values that are important for me? Well, my intention is to be in joy today. My intention is to cultivate freedom. My intention is to pause and play at some moment today. My intention is to bring compassion to this conversation that I know is going to be so difficult, that I know I'm going to fall into trying to be right instead of being at peace. So intention is that quality that you're bringing into your life, into your relationships, into your situations. You don't know how things are going to unfold, but you, like my teacher says, let the how be the wow. Let the how be the wow. You don't know, but you're doing your part, which is to bring that intention into your day, into your life, into your relationships. It's an energy, and it's really powerful. So if we have time, I would love for us to do a 2-minute exercise to set an intention. Would that be
I would love that. Yes, I would love that. It one thing that's becoming clear is I love the way that you said intentions never expire. Goals expire. You know, after one thing, it's like another goal, right? And I remember this Jim Carrey quote, I hope all of you, in a graduation ceremony, he said, I hope all of you become rich, because then you'll realize that's not really what you're going after. You know, and he was talking about intentions there. I love that. So yes, for those of us who are like, oh, this is what the difference between a goal and a resolution and an intention is, really living into who we are, the qualities that never expired about us. Lead us into that 2-minute. If you have any tips, please let us know. I would love to engage, help the audience engage and really walk into intention setting on their own too.
Yes. So the first step is you're going to think about a situation in your life. It could be a life intention that you would like to set about a particular area of your life that might be a little, that you might want to express more greatness in your life. It could be a situation with a person, with your body. It doesn't matter, but I want you to think about something that you would like to set a clear intention that will be the driving force for that area of your life. So that's the first step. You think about what it is. And then if you can, you don't have to. This is the beauty of this exercise. If you can, you're going to close your eyes, but again, you don't have to. You can even do this walking. But because we can, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, those of you that can. And I want you to start breathing. Just breathe a little slower and a little deeper than you usually do it. You need to take about 2-3 deep breaths just to center yourself. Beautiful. And now I want you to think about something in your life that you appreciate a lot. It could be something very easy to think about, and immediately a feeling tone of appreciation comes to you. And I want you to breathe it into your heart again, about 2-3 breaths. Depends on where you are. You might need a little bit more, and perhaps you're there already. So you breathe in appreciation into your heart, and you let go appreciation. You may want to stay there for as long as you want. And once you're there, I want you to ask yourself, what am I to bring into this situation? What is my intention? What is my intention? What is my offering? And allow yourself to listen to a word or a sentence, a quality that comes from your heart. And we're just going to take one more deep breath in and let it go. And you open your eyes again. So what we do is we get into a space of appreciation. And then from that space, we want to ask our heart, our higher self, our deeper intelligence, what is that one quality I want to bring into this area of my life? Is it freedom? Is it boundaries? Is it the quality of knowing that I am enough, that I'm enough? Because when you were speaking about the, wanting to manifest 6 figures and all of that, the thing with manifesting material things, which is beautiful, is that when we don't feel enough, nothing will ever be enough.
That's right.
That's where we want to come into a space of intention, so that you may feel enough. So that's my suggestion, to set an intention.
That was so good. That was so good. When you don't feel enough, nothing will ever be enough. I love that. Seneca, Lincoln, any tips that we can offer the listeners as to how they can engage in intention setting on their own?
Yeah, I'll jump in really quickly. I think one of the most important things about it, there's no wrong way to set intentions at the end of the day, but one of the things that Paula just mentioned that I thought was so beautiful is it's like we're taking our power back. And it's like we're saying, okay, I don't know what I did in the past, but right now I'm going to start living my life on my terms. I'm going to create what I desire, what's authentic to me. And so as long as we're connecting from that place, there is no wrong way. There's wonderful techniques and ways to lay it out. And it's really nice and really helpful to do and have a wonderful process around it. And whichever our process is, just making sure I'm really connected into my power, to what's authentically me, what's my gifts, my strengths, what I came here to live.
Yes. As I'm listening, what pops into my mind right now is one of my favorite television shows on the air right now, and it is on the Stars Network. It's called American Gods, and something that Seneca just said made one of my favorite lines from this most recent season pop into my head. And the line is, when your heart and mind are in alignment, the answers will come. So we're talking about attention setting and how we're all one with the universe and we're an extension of that universe. Then something is creating through us, right? So when the heart and mind are in sync with that, the answers as far as what's a constructive intention, what is a purposeful intention, what is an intention that's consistent with who we are as an individual and the gifts that we've come to share. When the heart and the mind are in alignment, those answers will come. You will just feel it. What are you being naturally and instinctively guided to be passionate about, to be fascinated by, to be interested in? Those are the things that we need to focus on. And then from that place of just being aware and focused on what it is that we're being divinely guided towards, answers come to us, And then what happens next is we have to empower ourselves to follow those answers, to follow that guidance. We're attached to so many things in the physical world that prevent us and cause conflict with us being in sync and to follow that guidance. But in those moments, we have to trust. It's not always going to be easy. It's not going to be easy 99% of the time. You have to trust.
I love that. So I wanted to try something new. Why don't we all state our intentions for this show, 30 Minutes of Wisdom, for 2021 or for our listeners? And I would love to just kind of speak it out loud before we end.
Okay, I'll begin. My intention is to show up authentically and hold space for higher consciousness to flow through all of us.
I love that.
Seneca, please.
Oh, thank you, Lincoln. All right. My intention is for us to come together. And as we do for our discussion and the wonderful contribution of the audience and the comments, that we prompt ideas and dialogue that opens up our heart-centeredness and our clarity for all of us together.
And my intention is simply for everyone who watches the show to feel empowered to step into the world as their best selves with no fear or apprehensions about presenting that person.
All right. And my intention is that the show is a bold disruption to people trying to defer hope into the future, and that we can all awaken to live into the now, the power of now, and who we already are. And so this is our collective intention. May the show help us to show up with authenticity and hold space for higher consciousness. May this show help us grow in clarity and heart-centeredness. And may the show empower each and every one of us to be our best selves and without fear. And may the show provide a bold disruption to live into who we are already. And with that, I want to say thank you so much for joining us, even with their tech difficulties. And if anything has surfaced up for you, any ideas or thoughts or inklings, please share, comment, like, do those heart emoji things. And we will be here next week, Friday at 2. Hopefully, we are intending to no tech difficulties. But until then, love and peace to all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye.